So you want to start dipping snuff? Well, I'm here to tell you what snuff is and give you a little introduction on how to do it, give you some simple tips and tricks, and give you an all-around idea and overview of everything that you're going to run into when you start chewing. Alright? Alright, let's roll up our sleeves because it's going to get a little bit messy. I've been dipping snuff now for 11 years, so I have my fair share of experience with it. I was one of the very few people that was dipping snuff in middle school. I think it was just 3 of us. Me, my cousin, and one of my other friends. So, let's start with what is snuff. Okay, snuff is just a form of tobacco. And all it is it's the tobacco leaf, and it's cut into very fine granules, okay, as a word for it. As you can see, it's just the tobacco leaf cut up. And after they cut it up, of course, they add the flavoring in some brands like Skull and Red Seal. And then other brands like Copenhagen, they just, they keep it more natural. And then you have the straight and the natural flavors. So they add flavoring and they process it, and it goes into a can and you chew it. That's pretty much all snuff is. For you first timers out there, I've arranged 4 cans of snuff here. And these 4 cans we will be talking about in a little bit of detail, and I'm going to be talking which ones you need to try first and which ones you might want to hold off on until a later date. Okay, so here are 4 different cans of snuff, 4 different brands, and I'm going to be talking about these guys a little bit. Okay, so these 2 here, Skull and Red Seal, these are the ones that usually you try out first, and it's because that they are not very strong in regards to nicotine, and they have really good flavors. Red Seal is usually pretty cheap. Skull is a little bit more expensive, but it's really good. They have great flavors. The chews last for a really long time. I mean, it is a really great brand, but they are pretty expensive. So I'm going to set that down there. The Red Seal, like I said, good flavors. The chews last for a good time. The cans also last for a good time because they have 25% more tobacco. And as you can see, the can is bigger than a Skull can here. Just by a little bit of margin, but it still has more tobacco in it. So these 2, I highly recommend if you're a beginning dipper to definitely choose these 2 first. So yeah, choose these 2 first. You can't go wrong with these guys. There's a wide variety of flavors with Red Seal. You got mint, you got wintergreen, you got natural, you got straight, and Skull is just ridiculous. You got peach, cherry, berry, citrus, apple, hell, I don't know, crisp. There's a lot of flavors of Skull, so you just try them out, and then your favorites, you can chew them. My favorite personally is peach and apple. Those are my 2 favorites. Really great flavor on those, so I'm just going to leave those there. Grizzly is a little bit more strong than these 2. So this is definitely a step above these guys. And that's because of the nicotine content. It's pretty strong. The flavor, the straight, and the natural are pretty strong. The natural tastes a lot like Copenhagen. The straight tastes a lot like, any other straight out there, but it's just a little bit stronger in nicotine. So, if you're a first-time chewer and you choose Grizzly, expect to get a fairly good nicotine buzz from it. So I'm going to leave Grizzly there. And then Copenhagen, in my opinion, is one of the strongest brands, along with my friends who I've talked this over with a little bit. But it's really great. Copenhagen is a great chew. Don't get me wrong. It's flavorful. The only thing I don't like about it is their long cut is like fine cut. But like I said, very great chew. They've been around since, 1822, so they know their way around some snuff. So you heard me use the term cut. Now, these are all long cut, and the cut refers to the actual size of the granules of snuff. As you can see, it's longer than let me. So there's the cut of the skull, and let me get out the Copenhagen, which is long cut, but this long cut is like fine cut. And as you can see, their cut is actually a lot finer than the skull. And what that means is just the way that they cut the snuff. They run it through some kind of cutting machine, it cuts it up, and yeah, it's just it references to the cut. I like long cut personally myself because long cut, it's not as messy as fine cut. It doesn't go all over your mouth like fine cut does. But there's nothing wrong with fine cut. I chew fine cut every now and again. There's nothing wrong with it. You just gotta know how to chew it if you don't want to get mess everywhere. So that's just something to look out for. Like I said, Copenhagen, their long cut is like fine cut, and their fine cut is like powder. So definitely, if you're going to try Copenhagen for the first time, grab a long cut because it's still pretty messy. But you know, the more you chew fine cut, the more you get a understanding for it, and you know, everything will be hunky-dory in the end. Okay, so there is the different brands of snuff, and these are just 4 examples. There are a lot more out there. I mean, there's Skull, Red Seal, Grizzly, Copenhagen, Longhorn, Kayak, Timberwolf, Red Man even makes a snuff. If you guys have heard of the Red Man chewing tobacco, Red Man makes a snuff. There's Cougar. Shit, man. I mean, I can't even think of all of them that come to mind. But there is a lot of them out there, trust me. And, you know, it might take you a while to find your favorite, so I suggest that you broaden your horizons. You try a different can every now and again until you run across something that you really love, and then that will be, you know, something that you keep going back to. But, you know, I want to encourage you guys to keep open about it. Try different types of snuff, try different cans here and there, different flavors of different brands of snuff, and you might come across something that you like even better. So keep your mind open about the flavors and everything else, but also find one that you want to keep going back to, because that's the one that ends up being bought the most. Okay, so we're going to talk about how to pack snuff, okay? And packing snuff just means that all of your snuff is going to be going to one side of the can, which leaves you a space so you could easily pinch and grab you a dip of snuff. It also packs the snuff in tightly, so it's very easy. It's kind of like packing a pack of cigarettes. You know how you tap it on your wrist or your hand or whatnot. It's just like that, except with a can of snuff. Now, there are many different ways to do this, but I'm going to show you 4 here today. 3 useful ways, and 1 way that's just kind of like a trick or whatnot. But I'm going to be using this can of Skull. The first way is the traditional way, as I like to call it. What you do is you grip the can with your thumb and your middle finger. You grip the can like so. Now you want to keep a light grip on this can, okay? Not light enough that it'll fall out of your hand, but just light enough to where your index finger will still be relaxed and floppy. And then you want to just roll your wrist and flick. And there you go. That's how to pack using that method. Roll your wrist and flick. Okay, so that one's that one will take you some time. Okay, like with my left hand, I can barely even do it. I'm not coordinated at all with my left hand, but with the right hand, I could do it like nobody's business. But yeah, it'll take you a little while because, I mean, it's natural if you want to grip onto this, but you don't really have to grip onto it. The can will stay in your hand, and you just flip it, and you keep your index finger kind of loose. long, loose, and full of juice, if you know what I'm saying. Okay, so after that method, we go to the second method, which is the one that I primarily use, which is, I like to call it the side pack, okay? It's basically the same as traditional, except that instead of holding it flat, you turn it on its side and you hold it this way. You pinch it kind of in the middle, you put your index finger on here, and the same thing. The same motion. And that usually packs it really well. It's my favorite. I find it a little bit easier to do it like that, and it's also easier on your index finger, especially when you have a Red Seal can. A Red Seal has this raised edge, and if you do that, if you're a beginner and you do that a lot, your finger will probably be sore. But I've been doing this a long time. I got callus built up right there. But anyways, I like doing it like that. Alright, the third one, and probably the easiest one, I don't see a lot of people using this. I guess a lot of people just like to hit their can. I like to hit some cans, if you know what I'm saying. Hey-yo! But the third way, and probably the easiest way, you just take a can, and you hit it on your hand a couple times, there you go, it's packed. Take a can, hit it on your hand, packed. My uncle uses this, and you know, he was the first person I've ever seen that used that method instead of like the hitting methods, you know. So yeah, there's three, and I will be showing you guys the fourth, but we have to go to the kitchen to do it. Okay. Hopefully you can see everything. This is called the donut pack, or as I like to call it, the donut pack. And what you do is you get a pretty flat surface here. You just take it, and then you spin it. Hold on. And then it spins like that. And then after it's done, you open it up to reveal, ta-da, a donut. Now here, let me get you guys in the light here. Sorry about this, but there you go. And it's just like a nice little trick. It's called the donut pack, the O pack, the ring pack. A lot of different names for it. But yeah, it's just like a nice little trick that you can do with your friends if you want to. I don't really use it a lot. I just do it every once in a while when I get bored. But that is the fourth packing method. Okay? Ta-da! Okay, so that one was pretty cool, wasn't it? That one's more of a trick, you know, like I said, it's just something to show your friends and whatnot. So now we come right down to it, getting a dip of snuff, alright? So, you know, it's fairly easy. Give it a good little pack. If it's a brand new can, you won't have much space in here to work with, okay? You're just gonna have to dig into it anyways. But this is like one chew taken out of here, so I have a little bit of space here. So all you want to do is just take your pinchers, your index finger and your thumb, kind of get down in there. I always like to go to the bottom, pinch on top with your thumb, pinch down, get you know, however much you want. I'm not going to get a very big chew, but I'm going to get one big enough to sustain me for a little bit. And then you put it down into your lip. Something that I always like to do was I like to start it back here and roll it into my lip. That will it will force the lip outward as you roll it, allowing for a much cleaner dip. This is my spittoon. If you don't know, a lot of people like to use bottles like this, but I think bottles get pretty gross. I just have this one as a example. This isn't even mine. This is one of my friends left it up here. Pretty gross. But this actually, I picked up at Dollar General, and it is a ashtray for your car. And it's really good. But we will be talking more about spittoons here at the very end of the video. We got some snuff to talk about. Let's talk about the burning, okay? There will be some slight burning when you very first put a chew in, and it's because that your gums are not used to having a tobacco product in your mouth. You know, it's not used to having something foreign in there, and it's gonna burn a little bit, but don't worry, it will pass, okay? It's not gonna burn all the time, constantly. It's like when you if you guys are smokers, if you guys are coming over from smoking, it's like, you guys remember the first time you tried a cigarette? You know, you puffed on it. It's kind of like that. But it'll go away. Just give it, you know, 5 minutes, 5-10 minutes ish, and it'll stop burning. It'll stop tingling, you know, that feeling that you get. And it'll do this for about a week. Maybe a little bit less, maybe a little bit more, just depends on the person. But it'll do it for, on average, about a week. And then you will have no burning, and you can just put in chews anytime you want to, and you don't even have to worry about it. Let's talk about the different places you can put chews in your mouth. Alright? There is the standard, you know, front chew, I like to call them. You can put them on the front here. Pretty much right underneath your eye teeth. Alright, a lot of people chew right there. I used to chew right there until my gums got kind of wore down. And then I started moving it on backwards to back here in that little pocket. And everybody has one of them little pockets in your mouth. That's just the way humans are designed. But I started moving it back there. Well, same thing happened. I chewed it there for about, I don't know, 4 years, and it's just my gum was starting to deteriorate a little bit. Not much, you know, just enough to where, you know, I decided to move it. So now I'm chewing right here, which is the other side pocket. It's not completely in the pocket. It's a little bit out of it, so you can still kind of see it. A great way to hide a chew is putting it way back in that pocket. You'll hide it perfectly. Okay, so 2 more places. And I use these quite a bit, actually, and that is up here and up here. Up here above your eye teeth, right on the mustache area. Now this is used for when you have, geez, this is an old can of snuff, it's dried out. When you have a small chew left, I don't know if you guys can see that or not. The focus is probably off because I'm on manual, and I can't manually focus by myself. But as you can see, it's not a very big chew. This is probably like half a chew for me. So what I would do with that is I would gather it up and I would put it up here, because you can or it's, you can't really put a full chew in up here. It's more like half a chew up here. Okay. So, you know, there's just 2 more places you could put it. My ex-brother-in-law, he used to chew up there a lot, and he used to chew Copenhagen up there. To this day, I don't know how he did it, because Copenhagen, the long cut is even so finely cut, and you know, he did it, and he was really good at it. Like, no snuff would be anywhere in his mouth. Yeah, the long cut is just like fine cut, and that's why I rarely chew Copenhagen. But I do like Copenhagen, don't get me wrong, I do. I like Copenhagen, that's why I bought this. It's the Southern Blend, very great chew, very good. But that's for another review, another day. Alright, we're getting off track, get back on track, alright? Back on track. I wonder what my dog's dreaming about. But yeah, those are some placement options for you, and you can decide, you know, which place works the best for you. I recommend, if you're very first starting out, right here, because it seems less sensitive right here. Alright, this area right here is less sensitive than somewhere like back in here, or definitely up here. Up here is very sensitive, so it takes a little while to get used to that. I don't, like I said, I only chew up here when I'm getting down to the end of a can, and I usually chew about a can every 2 days, so I usually chew up here once every 2 days, pretty much. So, you know, that's just That's just me, and it's still even a little bit sensitive up here. But you know, it's just it takes some time for your gums and your jaws to adjust to the dip, pretty much. So you heard me talk about this Spittin earlier in the video. I said we'll touch on it later. So this is just something that you spit in. It's a Spittin. Like in the old-timey westerns, you had those guys like, bing. That's a Spittin. They're spitting in a brass cup with a funnel on the top of it. A lot of people like to use bottles as Spittins. Personally, I don't. I use bottles for years, and it's just, I mean, it's just not very good. Okay, I mean, you spit in it once, and you know it's gross, and it ends up smelling, and you know, you spit in it once or twice, and you throw it away. It's gross. I don't like using bottles, guys. It's just not my deal. This isn't even mine. This is a friend's that they left up here. All right, some people use cans as a Spittin, and I just I use this as an example. What I did was I used the thumb to make it wider, and you can spit in it, no problem. But again, same problem as the bottle. It's just not a very effective way to spit. I mean, it's not very effective. It's gross. I don't like it. That's why I moved on to this, okay? I bought this at Dollar General for like $2, okay? It is a portable ashtray that you put in your car. It has a funnel down here that funnels the spit into this reservoir, and as you can see in here, it's tapered down. It's tapered down so you could the spit drains into that funnel, and it works fairly well. You know, I've been spitting in this for a good little while until I ran across a product. Now I'm going to keep this product secret until I do the review on it, because I mean, this product is absolutely amazing, guys. It is the best dip accessory that anybody can own. All right, I talked to the company today. I talked to them. They gave me permission to review their product. They're really awesome guys. I'm very excited to review their product for you guys and show you guys what all the hubbub is about. So that review will be coming up next week. I actually have a new one on the way in the mail, so I'm going to review the new one instead of my old one, and oh man, I can't wait. I'm going to be doing an unboxing. I'm going to be doing, you know, everything, the bells and whistles on that review. It's going to be great. All right, so just hold off until the next week, and I will show you guys this review, this product that has changed the way I spit. It's really, really great. I cannot say enough good things about this product. So there you go. That is Spittunes touched upon. If you don't want to use bottles, just go to a convenience store. Most convenience stores have this. A lot of gas stations have these. Like I said, I bought mine at Dollar General. You can pick one up for $2. But hold off, okay? Hold off until I do that review. Okay. That's pretty much it. I don't know anything else to talk about here. I touched upon the basics. I touched upon packing. Touched upon getting a chew. I touched upon different brands, different strengths of tobacco. I touched upon different things here and there, spittoons, you know, the burning sensation, everything that you will encounter as a first-time dipper. If you guys would like to help me, hit the subscribe button to support us here at Some Guys Gaming. It's me and a group of like 5 other guys, and we just like to play video games and have fun. We also like to dip snuff and have fun as well. So yeah, hit the subscribe button to keep up with what we're doing. Hit the like button if you like this video, and leave me a comment down there. Leave me some criticism. All right, I love reading comments. Anything I can do to make these videos better, I will do it, because I really want to keep this video series going. I would like to educate you guys about dipping snuff, and yeah, just leave me a comment. And if you want to see a specific product reviewed, a specific brand of snuff or a flavor reviewed, then leave me a comment and we will review it for you. So that's pretty much it. As always, I'm Cody from Some Guys Gaming. Thanks for watching, guys.